an inability. Elvis Kusgay, thanks for that report. Now, coffee, which is one of Kenya's top foreign exchange earner, is among 7 commodities listed under the new European Union deforestation regulations. Under the regulations, which are set to take effect at the end of this year, those supplying the products to the EU market will be required to prove their production did not lead to deforestation or other forms of land degradation, failure to which they will be locked out. And with the deadline for compliance fast approaching, a spot check by KTN News has established that little to nothing is being done to ensure compliance, with most farmers at the risk of being caught unawares when the regulations take effect. Ken Gashuhi with that report.
Kenya's annual coffee production is estimated at 51,000 tons. At least half of the produce is sold to the EU market, with slightly less than 3% consumed locally. This makes the EU market critical for Kenya's coffee sector. The market is, however, expected to experience significant change with the new EU deforestation regulations.
These EUDR regulations, it means we need to have an alternative market for our products. However, we don't have such at the moment. So it means we are supposed to try as much as possible to be compliant.
Coffee, one of Kenya's major foreign exchange earner, is among 7 products listed under the regulations aimed at making their production sustainable, specifically without causing deforestation and other forms of land degradation to address climate change. This involves satellite monitoring of the farms over time. Though well-meaning, it could possibly have negative impact, especially on Kenyan coffee farmers.
The regulation requires that you have to map and actually share the location where those farms are. And even in case if there is any deforestation which has taken place previously from the year 2020, they will refuse to consume that coffee. Then it means, as a farmer, you need to balance between the coffee production and actually the forest conservation.
Kipkelion area in Kericho County is among the country's top 5 coffee producing areas, where we visited to establish how informed and prepared the farmers are about the regulations. Many still unaware of the regulations.
Hakuna habari tumaisikia kuhusu hiyo mambo na EU. Hakuna sensitization tumayambiwa. So information mingi hatusikiangi.
So mambo mengi inaenda through society. Kazi yangu mkulima ni kuchuma kahawa hapa nipeleke factory ya society. Na sheria zote inapewa management ya society.
The majority of our farmers are not aware of that. So as a union, we are also trying to cope up, trying to see if we are able to do the data capture through the cooperative societies.
The government is currently on a campaign to increase coffee production by expanding acreage, provision of subsidized fertilizer, and setting of the minimum guarantee returns at 100 shillings per kilo to the farmers. Expanding of acreage by clearing bushy areas is, however, likely to place the farmers on a collision course with the EU market regulations.
We will be able to work out on an integration plan that will allow us to continue our livelihoods while at the same time ensuring we have enough forest cover. The EU have extended a lot of support to Kenya. There'll be a bit of pressure on the land use, but I want to encourage we can handle and do all these developments concurrently.
Festus Bet, the general manager of Kipkelion District Cooperative Union, notes that the cost of geomapping, which is expected to shoot over 400 million shillings, should be catered for by the government to cushion farmers.
If the government is in a position to provide the coordinates and all the latitudes where the farms are located, it will eventually reduce the cost of actually doing that process. So it requires also a lot of harmonization to have a standardized data that is communicating the same information. And the eventual person who is suffering is the farmer. All these costs are going to be transferred to the farmer.
Apart from the non-deforestation policy, which takes effect on December 30th, 2024, coffee farmers also face more restricting regulations from the EU, which they have to abide with.
where are we going to take our coffee if that market shrinks like that? The European market is also shrinking because they need non-conventional coffee. And majority of our farms are done conventionally. This one comes with also an impact that the production will go down once you are given the list of agrochemicals to use in the farm, and this one will limit you.
Although the farmers appreciate the ongoing reforms in the lucrative subsector, this is a call on the government to come up with even more incentives to cushion the coffee farmers against emerging market conditions that leave their pie ever shrinking. Ken Geshuhi, KTN News.
Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi has urged